Want an easy, quick Yule log that's sure to impress kids and adults alike? This Kinder Delice style recipe is just for you. Trust me, it's really hard to resist. For the sponge cake, we'll mix 4 eggs with 130 grams of sugar. We're making a chocolate Swiss roll cake. Using an electric mixer, beat continuously for about 10 minutes. The mixture will lighten in color, become foamy, and triple in volume. Next, you're going to sift 90 grams of flour. We'll also add some cocoa powder, about 20 grams. We'll sift it as well to avoid any lumps. And finally, we'll also sift 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder. Of course, that's optional. You can just use cocoa to flavor the sponge cake. After sifting all the dry ingredients, gently fold the batter with a spatula, lifting it until the mixture is perfectly smooth. Be careful not to deflate it. Next, take a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and pour the sponge cake batter onto it. Then spread it out evenly on the baking sheet and bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. And while that's baking, we'll prepare a mascarpone cream. So, we mix 300 milliliters of heavy cream with at least 30% fat, 200 grams of mascarpone, 60 grams of powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla powder. Still using the electric mixer, whip until you get a firm cream that holds its shape. We're going to keep it in the refrigerator until it's time to assemble. Right after taking it out of the oven, we'll take the hot chocolate sponge cake and roll it up in a damp towel. That's it. Then we'll set it aside until it cools completely, so it keeps its rolled shape. Next, we'll move on to the soaking syrup. It's simply hot chocolate. I mixed 100 milliliters of milk with 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa and 1 tablespoon of sugar. I bring everything to a boil, then set it aside. Then we'll prepare the chocolate glaze. So, in a saucepan, I put 90 grams of heavy cream, 15 grams of butter, then 200 grams of milk chocolate, as well as 100 grams of dark chocolate. Now, make sure you don't bring it to a boil, or you'll burn the chocolate. You just need to stir until it's nicely melted. After the sponge cake has completely cooled, we're going to gently unroll it. The sponge cake has already taken the shape of the roll, so you'll see that later on, it won't break when you roll it up. Next, you'll soak the sponge cake with the hot chocolate you prepared earlier. Spread it evenly all over. This will keep it from drying out. Then we'll spread all the mascarpone cream. Try not to put any on the edges, so the cream spreads evenly. The Yule log can be kept for up to 4 days in the refrigerator, or several months in the freezer. I've already made an extra large Kinder Delice, and even an individual version, so feel free to check out my recipes if you're interested. Next, we're going to gently roll the sponge cake. Don't press too hard. So it's normal if some cream comes out, we'll just remove the excess. Next, for a clean finish, we'll trim a small piece off each end so it's nice and straight. It instantly gives a much cleaner result. Of course, if you don't mind, you can leave the edges as they are. Next, for the icing, place the rolled cake on a rack and pour the chocolate icing all over it, so everything is covered. We're going to let the icing drain well before placing the cake on a serving plate. And then we'll chill it for at least 3 hours. I even recommend leaving it overnight. We're going to recreate the little pattern you find on the famous Kinder Delice. It's simply the chocolate ganache I saved and put into a piping bag. And the Yule log is ready to be enjoyed. I hope you like the recipe and that you'll give it a try. See you soon!